Squire Newman, and this is August 2017's Helios Tarot Forecast, drawn to match and speak to your personal astrological zodiac sign. Check out my website, IamHelios.com, and investigate all that I have to offer there, personal readings, courses, etc., and subscribe if you would like to receive updates. Also follow the link below to Annie Botticelli's Storyteller forecasts and be fascinated by how astrology plays into this all so beautifully. Okay, let's get started. Alright, Libra, this is your tarot spread for the month of August. You can see there are 5 cards here, a central theme, path option 1, path option 2, your past, and your fate. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Lovers, the 8 of Discs, the 3 of Cups, and the Moon. So the central theme deals with what you have going on right now and also embodies the greater arc of this tarot spread. And in the Queen of Wands, we can find one of the Myers-Briggs personality profiling system types. The Queen of Wands corresponds with the INTJ. And this is all really fascinating. I don't know if you've ever been aware of the connection. There are 16 personality profiles in the Myers-Briggs system, and there are 16 court cards. Not a coincidence at all. The INTJ is the introverted, intuitive thinking judger. This is somebody who's always looking out at what could be improved. They're an extremely independent personality type, very theory-based, very skeptical, and somebody who really needs things to be their way. They have a high need for competency, and they essentially see the world as a chessboard or a game, strategy game. So it looks like you have some problems to solve, you have some answers to seek, and ideally some answers to find, and I hope that happens for you. In order to get to those things, in order to get to the clarity you require and desire, you can take 2 paths to get there, walk through one of 2 doors. The Lover's card, a major arcana card, has to do with the merging of opposites, diving into, perhaps an area of life that you hadn't considered before, exploring something that you would never consider exploring, something that seems diametrically opposed to you, something that does not resonate with you at all, maybe looking into something there, finding out more about your capacity as a human being to explore and indulge in the sides of yourself that you would never entertain, or you would usually resist entertaining. The Lovers also has to do with finding balance, something that should be quite familiar for Libras, although this card is associated with Gemini, which has much more to do with the process of attaining it, or experiencing the state of imbalance so as to come into an experiential understanding of the need for balance. Jumbling back and forth between hemispheres of the brain in order to generate single coherent thoughts, for example, requiring many different neural networks in order to come to single simplicities. The Lover's card has to do with the cooperation, between otherwise opposed forces, otherwise opposing or contradictory forces. So the very essence of this card calls upon and requires a kind of universal alchemy. It is said that a peaceful combination of existing contrasts or contradictions is a better solution than any confrontation. Okay, so that's diplomacy instead of war. So consider that when strategizing, when gazing out upon this great game. So consider the other option, the 8 of Discs. The 8s within the tarot deck correspond on the Tree of Life with the Sphere of the 8, the Had, or action from acceptance. Action taken from a position of acceptance and surrender. And as manifest through discs, this is simply proper investment, proper management and wise calculation, investing in reliable resources, not wasting time, not wasting energy, whether mental, emotional, or physical, just not exhausting yourself. Using your gifts and natural talents wisely, gradually, consistently, with longevity in mind. Maybe sacrificing and surrendering some familiar comforts in order to prolong the adequate function of your reserves, and always proceeding with caution, making sure that whatever contribution to the game you make is legal, for example. So when compared to the Lover's card on the alternative path, you can see that this one is not so much about trying something drastically new and different. This really has to do with what you already have. It doesn't necessarily involve the integration of something so drastically different, so opposite, so foreign, so uncomfortable. This could actually be quite a pleasant experience. It can be quite fun. It can be really enjoyable to work steadily towards something, towards some tangible goal, and also knowing that it will be successful because you're being so cautious and so meticulous with every single step. The Lovers card is really just about launching into something so new for the sake of achieving balance, for the sake of collapsing a dichotomy, bringing duality into a singularity so as to get a better and clearer view on the whole situation, but it in itself doesn't necessarily ensure progress or success. It merely ensures that a new perspective, a new vantage point would be achieved, a new level of integration and wholeness. However, I think in your case, considering the nature of the Queen of Wands in your central theme, the Eight of Discs seems far more appropriate. So consider your resources carefully and invest very wisely and very cautiously, and proceed with caution always. And in your past, of course, that which has inspired all of this is the Three of Cups. The 3, of course, corresponding to Sphere 3 on the Tree of Life, Binah, or understanding. And this actually has to do with the left hemisphere of the brain. So, rationality that actually brings the function of the right hemisphere into form. So this is the actualizing mechanism that, creates the world and brings your dreams into reality. Okay, and so as manifest through water, Binah, Sphere 3, through water is abundance and fertility and celebration and just recognizing the fullness of life, or the fullness of the potential of what life could be. So you had some kind of dream, some kind of vision, some kind of hope, some kind of experience that you did have in your past at any point, stretching back to the furthest reaches of your memory, has actually sparked some kind of motivation to create some kind of change, or to at least contribute to the game of life in some way through the Queen of Wands. So I think that you're in the pursuit of some kind of greater level of satisfaction, and that kind of satisfaction that comes from actualizing potentials. And I'm seeing a lot of these similar themes here across the board with just about every member of the zodiac. And I think this has to do with astrological factors. Again, check out Annie Botticelli's Storyteller Forecast to get the full scope of that. But it's all just so fascinating to see. Now, in your future, the fate section here, you have the moon. So there is going to be some uncertainty. So you have to generate your own sense of uncertainty. Through the experience of the moon, you may have no evidence, no externalized evidence to demonstrate to you that you have been successful in all of your pursuits. That your contribution to the game has, served you well. There may be no apparent evidence that will satiate you. So therefore, you have to stick to the energy of the Eight of Discs and just keep working, keep, maintaining that meticulous approach, and know that you will be successful even if there is no evidence to prove it. Okay, the moon always carries with it some kind of illusion, some kind of, it's just uncertain, it's foggy. It's incoherent and unclear, and there can be some deception in that. Some kind of, there may be like a lying force in your life, some kind of dishonesty, some kind of, something that is just cast a veil between you and the truth. However, you still can see the truth. It just has to come from within. That's really the message here. And so you achieve that, of course, through the Eight of Discs. So just keep up the good work, keep at it, keep working hard and consistently, investing very wisely and cautiously, and you'll have all of the proof of your success that you need. And that about wraps this up, so thank you so much for watching and listening, and don't forget to check out my website, IamHelios.com, and consider signing up for a course or booking a personal reading to take this much, much further and go so much deeper than we have here. Thank you so much.